Mi amigos y amigas, I am full of gratitude for everything in my life right now. Hopefully, I can be heard. I'm trying to make sure I speak into the speaker because I did a few test runs on this phone and the sound was kind of sketchy. I couldn't really hear. It's kind of fading in and out. So, hopefully, I can be heard. As so many of us want to be heard, and so many of us are unfortunately silenced. And the energy expenditure that some of us already have put out and the trauma compiled on top of it can make it so hard to keep trying to speak up. But I hope that everybody, when they feel it necessary and appropriate to do so, I hope you do it. Gotta pick your battles, of course. There's always times where it's good to learn to just let it go, to, what that extent means. I mean, once you're traumatized, you're always going to feel that pain. Maybe time can heal wounds, but that that pain is there. It's done and over with. Some things are irreparable. You cannot fix what has been done. And there's so many comments, so many things rushing through my mind that I want to touch on because as far as the comments go, I'll just say that real quick before I, scatter around even more. There's so many comments that I want to get back to and I want to expand upon because it's hard to actually put all I want to say in just a comment. And it doesn't have to be directed towards anyone, but when someone brings up something, I want to expand upon it because some things I've uploaded are just little snippets of things in my life that I don't want to forget, that it happened. Maybe I can get some light back in here. I hit that button, but it didn't. I'm in the car just because it's way more quieter in here. And I have this little tripod. But sorry, where was I? Oh yeah, just one of my videos where it's titled grievances, something about that, and this world is full of grievances. Um, I've made videos expanding upon that in the past, but I'm actually so wary about talking about those things now that I see how crazy this reality is and that I don't know who's watching me and I don't know who in particular is going after me. But that's not my paranoia. That actually very much happened to me. And that's what I really wanted to make this video about for the most part. Is around this time marks one of the most traumatic events I've ever been through. And it's been 1 year since then. And I've still been stalked and harassed this entire past year. And just to come to find out, I don't even care if the light goes off. I don't want to waste the battery, but I'm gonna just try to do this as quick as I can. It's Mercury retrograde, and things are already going to shit. But I'm going to focus on the positive, and I am very grateful for everything in my life, and actually for being here because it is such a temporary experience. And I know this isn't my home. I'll be going home. There were many times when I was younger, I just want to go home. I'd just be walking. But even more often, that would just come out of my mouth like without any rhyme or reason other than, I had to say it. Sometimes, like when I say I love somebody, I just can't help but say it out loud to myself. But I said, I wish I could actually, I said, I wish I could fly home. I wish I could just fly away. And eventually I will go home. But I'll do what I have to, what I need to do here. And screw it. I feel like it's better to see my facial expressions, but at the same time, it's kind of more comfortable and less pressure. I want to get closer to this phone, make sure this isn't gonna go bad. Just saw 6:39 when I looked at the time. Um, as a Gemini, I'm ruled by Mercury, so wondering how Mercury retrograde is affecting me and my communication. Because even though I know what I want to talk about, there's just so much to say, and I'm kind of like going all over the place. But I'm just trying to relate the overall message that I know there's a lot of people that don't feel like this is their home, and they feel like they just want to get out of here. And I've been there for people as much as I can when it comes to people that are suffering, and I will always try to do my best. But my empathy and sympathy has gotten me into some really crazy predicaments. And this year marks about the, yeah, 1 year from one of the most hellish experiences in my life, meeting a YouTuber off of YouTube here. And you really can't trust people online. You know, there's a lot of you that I feel if we met in person and we spoke face to face, some of you I've talked to for quite a while, some even of you even on the phone. I think I would meet you in person, and I think that we would give each other a hug, I would hope, and it would be a very healing, energetic exchange instead of when you hug an energy vampire and you feel like the life of you is sucked out of you, even from that small interaction. And that's kind of when I knew from that moment of meeting someone on here that that's kind of where I was at in that position. I was like, oh wow, I saw a lot of red flags talking to this person online, but in person, it became far more apparent to me that this person is extremely unwell and dangerous. And I still gave the benefit of the doubt, but see, that's where, I don't want people to become bitter and to give up their love and kindness to others. I know it's hard to trust anyone out here, and I'm definitely telling everyone that that's true. Like, please be careful out there. It's despicable what these false selves, narcissists, dark triads, what they will come up with in order to manipulate and reel you in. And then once you figure them out, what they will project onto you, the very things that they are. I went through this experience, and it's not the first encounters I've had with narcissists, but that experience here on YouTube really showed me that I think even though there's a ton of people out there that are on YouTube talking about narcissism and trying to help others with that, I just felt like, I have to jump in and say, I've experienced this firsthand and I'm going to take the plunge and go out there and try to be another person that will help people through these experiences. And I hope me sharing my very raw experiences in person, like, well, not in person, but in the moment is what I'm trying to say. In that moment in time, what I was going through, I actually documented some of it. And I'm very grateful for that. No matter where I was at, consciousness wise, however cringy it may be, I don't care. I was raw, I was upfront, as I always am on here, and I'm just putting it out there. But you have to be careful what you put out there because there are people that will stalk and try to gain information on you and pretend to be your friend and then try to ruin your life through that. And I know that some of you know very, very much in detail exactly what that's like. Not exactly to my story, of course. We all have a story, but you know exactly what it was like for you and similar in certain ways and dealing with the same people. We're dealing with the same individuals that are monsters on here and they're wreaking havoc on people's lives. People are waking up to that and you will reap what you sow. Whatever you put out there, it will come back. And what the least I can do is try to talk to people and say, I'm going through this. You're not alone. We're not alone. Like, this is happening all the time, unfortunately, to people that especially are very kind-hearted and empathetic souls that want to be there for others. And since it is the holiday time, this is exactly another reason why we can get sucked in to messes like this. I might do a part two, only because I really hope the sound on this is going to be okay. I was open about what I was going through, and people could actually tell that I was very much not in a good place. And I think it's good to document this stuff and where we're at, especially when we're dealing with people that are threatening our lives, our family, our pets. I never knew that going on YouTube would bring this type of shit upon my life. But once you realize that narcissists and these people, these types of very false self, dark triad, sociopaths, psychopaths, they're all around. They're all around. And it's so terrifying. And these people get their minions, they get other people to do their dirty work. It's so nefarious. But I'm still getting stalked and harassed. I'm still even getting videos made about me, smear campaigns, and all kinds of stuff. And one thing I wanted to say in this video is if you are dealing with a smear campaign, my best advice, everything that all these other people basically say, it's true. As painful as it is, as painful as, how much you want to defend yourself. I mean, I did to an extent, and this is part of me defending myself in my healing journey, but always remember, you don't have to defend yourself. Their lies are telling on them and who they are. And a lot of these people who've dealt with narcissists and give their advice, when they say don't react, it's so true. That is, now that I've seen and I've gone through this and I've gone through a year of healing as far as I can at this time, and wanting to make videos and talk about this, it's the only reason I just feel, you know, upset with trying to talk about it is that I don't want all this stuff on my YouTube. I didn't want to like junk and gunk up my YouTube with videos about monsters, just horrible people, but I want people to be warned. I seriously am putting this out here as what happened, and that's what I wanted to go into this video is just 1 year and saying really truly what the fuck happened to me. But also when I bring up these things again, there's been people that haven't followed me at all for any length of time. Like they just came across my channel and they're just gaslighting me. They have no idea who I am. And I'm not gonna name them or anything. I already, said my piece. Like, get off my channel then, because this is a healing space. This is not a place for you to gaslight me. And that goes for a lot of the other people that are victims of this type of abuse from the same people that I've dealt with, because these people are on the hunt for looking for more victims. And so if you want to discourage me from talking about what I went through and defending others in all of this, then you're an abuser too, as far as I'm concerned. I don't have to defend myself about the very, very false accusations that I could actually sue over against me for the libel and slander. I don't have to defend, but I will talk about these things. Because I think it is interesting that, and this is also very telling, when I did try to talk about these things, Diane Bandicoot, who I don't even want to bring up, but this is what this video is mainly about. Meeting her was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. And she was grooming me, talking to me for, manipulating me for over a year prior to this. So I don't want to mention that evil person, but this is what this is about mainly. And I just find it very telling that when I started speaking about certain things involving her husband, she got very defensive and wanted me to shut up. But when you make absolute lies about me, it's very telling of what the narcissist proclaims that you're doing, because it's a view into their own psyche and very telling often of what they themselves are doing. So these people are morons. They have seriously incriminated themselves by saying that they were in on this, trying to food poison me. And with the Transgender Day of Remembrance that just came up on the 20th, I believe. Thank you, by the way. You know who you are. I don't want to put you on the spot. I almost wanted to, but I'm just going to be cautious right now. Thank you to the person who wished me well on that day and reminded me of that that was even going on. I love you, and I thank you for caring about me. And some things I didn't want to go in on this channel, like I didn't want to keep talking about. One thing was these nasty narcissists. I didn't want to go in talking about them. Like, I want to be over that shit, but they keep stalking and making new stalk accounts to harass me and comment. So, this is ongoing, so I'm just documenting more. And this was a video, like I said, I wanted to make. It's been a year since all that happened, and it's like, okay, maybe now's the time where I can kind of more clearly speak about this and what I went through. But because of the holidays and everything, I let my guards down even more, and I made a big mistake. And I just want to warn everyone, be very careful out there giving out information to people. You have no idea sometimes what their intentions are. I think it's pretty big red flags when they're trying to get information on you, and it's kind of when you're trying to learn about somebody, like that's pretty, typical, but just watch out for those red flags where they seem like they're trying to use things against you, because a narcissist will use every single thing against you and more. They will make up flat out lies to actually ruin your life. So I hate to lean in here to hopefully be heard, but it is what it is. I wanted to go inside and record, but with my dogs and my mom's TV, she's hard of hearing, so I actually thought about doing a video with her, and I mentioned this in a previous video that I wanted to do a video with her talking about what happened and from her point of view and what she had to say about all of it. Because if it impacted her too, I mean, if it's impacting me, it's impacting her. I am her caregiver, and it's just, you want to talk, you want to make false accusations of me. What about what you're doing and making threats against my life and my own pets, my animal companions? I hate to even like call them pets because they're like my family. They're not just pets. They're like literally my fucking family. But I think this is just kind of the intro of like letting me get this rolling. Let me get to talking about this because it's a lot. It's a lot. What the fuck I went through. I've been seeing these videos about gang stalkers and people. I really don't like that whole chosen one label, but some of these videos go with that, and they say that you get targeted, and some of this targeting, I mean, it can be brought upon ourselves. Like, we have to take responsibility that if we are putting information out there that's extremely, especially during these times. But that's the point where I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna speak the truth. And speaking the truth really gets you fucked over here. But how can I not? Like, the times we're in, to be silent is to be complicit, as I feel, as far as that all goes. And I wanted to expand upon certain comments I got, why I felt it was all for nothing in that grievance thing that I did because of what happened. And I know it's not all for nothing. Like, we can feel that way, that our efforts are just, it was meaningless in the end. But you showing that courage and wanting to help others, or whatever the case is, like, that wasn't for nothing. No matter how much they tried to shit upon you and harm you and villainize you and project onto you everything that they're doing, they're ignorant. There's a lot of ignorance and arrogance and just plain out freaking stupidity back in 2020. Certain things going on, and it's madness out here. It's completely like there's so much going on. And because I know that I have cyber stalkers and people that are very sick in the head, and I think out downright dangerous. I have been really cautious. I have been thinking, what I want to say and what I need to put out there in order to warn other people. I made the mistakes of, trusting the wrong people, and I will never try to do that again. It's not that I tried, I'll never do that again as long as I can help it. We all make mistakes of getting into situations, but as long as we can help ourselves and do the best that we can to help others, I mean, that's what this is all about. And I don't want to keep talking about these people because that's what they love, even if it's bad attention, it's attention still. They don't care. They're sucking out your energy, the time, all of that. And I don't want that anymore. I just want to speak my part of what I went through and do what I need to do in order to heal. I mean, there's a lot of things that I can really put out there that it's like a done deal. Like, this is what was said. You can't lie. You can try to fucking lie all you want, but the truth will always come out. And narcissists bet on you not standing up for yourself, not doing shit. And I absolutely agree we should absolutely ignore these people and move on and live our best lives. To keep going on about the things, like, it's okay. It's okay, but for me, I just don't want my channel to be about them because they don't really matter. They don't matter to me. They may matter to their enablers and their flying monkeys, to other narcissists like them, but I'm done. I mean, I've realized how scary these people can be to try to take me out and end my life. Up to that point, I'm just, like, I'm done. I'm not here for that. And if you do try to end me in any way, if you do try to send me black magic, curses of any kind or anything like that, well, you're a fucking fool. You're gonna get all of that sent back to you plus more. I don't have to lift a finger though. You don't know who my spiritual team is, and I think you definitely underestimate me, as a lot of people do, based on how I look, or how I speak, or whatever the fuck. People always underestimate me. Hopefully the sound will be okay on this, but I am going to make a part two. It's just really hard, really hard to talk about the things that I've went through. But it was only 3 days of hell. And it could only be that because I couldn't stand to be around Die Antinatalist Diane Bandicoot anymore. I wanted nothing more to do with her. And to impose herself into my state for over a week and to kind of just put that on me, I'm glad I just cut it off. I was food poisoned and then blamed for it. Why would I want to hang out again? And why would you be so stupid? Diane Bandicoot and No Brains in Head, who is still making videos about me. Why would you be so stupid as to admit that you were in on it together? There's texts of Diane asking me, do I know who No Brains in Head is? And I find it very concerning that there are people who pretend to care about women or trans people or whatever. That was another thing. I really didn't want to go into the whole trans thing on here. I am not this body, and I don't want to like keep talking about that so much as like I want to be authentic. And that was one thing that I'll just say your name, Marielle. Thank you so much. I feel a call to actually just say your name. Thank you, Marielle, for telling me to be my authentic self, because that is such the message I'm getting, and I'm saying that all out to you. Please be authentic, please be genuine, please don't be afraid to be yourself and put yourselves out there. Just be careful, because there are psychopaths out there that will want to harm you and make you suffer and see you suffer. They want to see you suffer. They take delight in that because they're sick and they're incapable of empathy and sympathy, genuinely. They can fake it if they can get something out of you, and they can get something out of it, some kind of clout or whatever, like, you know, they'll use that against you too, like Diane did, emotionally blackmailing me for claiming that she was there for me when my friend passed. I'd have to go back to her smear campaign on me, but she sought me out because she found my comment on Ethel Blaze's channel, and I actually wanted no help from her. She didn't know him, so I didn't really need to talk to her. She was just trying to get information on me and use against me, but to use the passing of my friend is absolutely one of the most sickest things you could do, and to proclaim that, I'm seeking attention and that I wanted some kind of like attention for that, for losing my friend from a person like her? Absolutely not. I'm fine on my own. My connection with him and me connecting to him even now is still very strong. In fact, he's helping me with this video right now. Feeling his spirit and connecting with him and getting the courage to make this video. I don't want to start crying. But to use the passing of my own friend in a smear campaign of me trying to ruin my life, I don't know how low you can go. On top of food poisoning me. I just want people to be careful out there. But I'm going to go into every fucking detail I can of those 3 days and what I fucking went through in the following video of this, as this is already 31 minutes, 32 now minutes long. And I don't expect people to sit and listen to me. But I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for Blaze. I'm doing this for everyone that's suffering, especially from narcissistic abuse. And the fucking sickest shit is, all the other ones that are watching you on YouTube or whatever, they're all waiting to fuck you over when they see that you're hurting the most. It's like they all are like a hive mind or something, and they all kind of come together. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Like all this fucking towers falling one after the other, because once they see, you know, they'll triangulate, they'll pull back their energy of, pretending to care about you. Just like that other channel, I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. I don't even want to say their name. I don't want to give them any more credence, but that's some other channel that really needs to be talked about, and YouTube is absolutely complicit and criminal for letting that channel stay on, for cyber stalking and harassing people for years. Thousands of people. That person pretended to defend me, and just like Diane pretended to not be a transphobe and pretended to not be all this bullshit, but you see through the masks, you see through their lies and all their bullshit. It really doesn't matter, and I have every right to call this shit out, but I didn't want to talk about the trans stuff because, like, I want to get back to that in the saying that what else I wanted to say was that I didn't want to lose people, and that was not being authentic to myself to care that much. Like, if I'm going to lose people for talking about these topics, then truly, I don't think you're meant to be on my channel. If you have something against trans people, I can understand that. There's a lot of, like, really fucked up shit going on. And that's what I talked about in the beginning. Like, on this channel, there's still evidence of me talking about what's going on and the horrors of some of this crap. But I'm here to show you who I am and that we're all different. And everybody does hold a piece of the puzzle. I just don't want to get hyper fixated on that. I want to help people heal. not to be attached to this body. I think it's great. You should take care of your body as much as possible to the fullest extent that you can, but to be so attached to it, it brings so much suffering. And this isn't who we really are. We're so much more than this. But I wanted to be there for people that may be experiencing similar things I have, coming to an awakening on certain things that I have, and it's hard waking up to a lot of this stuff and then getting attacked for it because there's so much conflict. The divide and conquer tactics and the psyops and all the bullshit out there is so extravagant. It's unbelievable waking up to all of it and more, thinking back to what I supported or what I thought like years ago or even a year ago, channels I supported that I no longer do at all. I'm going to be very, very cautious about who I actually uh, mention on here that I actually fully stand behind, because I even the ones I have, like, I don't always agree with everything they're saying, but I love to support other people and their channels and everything. But I've made some mistakes in the past and I've admitted to those mistakes, and I never wanted anybody to be harmed. And when I saw a certain channel, I'm not going to be that vague because it's just unbelievable that a channel like this exists. But when I saw what that channel was doing, like every time they mocked somebody, it just made me feel sick to my stomach. And it wasn't why I stayed on that channel. I really felt like it was disgusting, and I knew that if I said anything, I would be next. And sure enough, yeah. And that's why it's a cult. And that's what I was going to talk about in my part 2 video of that other video that I kept privating. But no, I'm not. I'm going to keep it up. The one where I talked about, you know, in a world of sheep, like, be yourself. And I know it's very cliche, but seriously, think for yourself. Think for yourself. Do not let anyone else dictate your reality and what you've been through or gaslight you. I didn't want to speak up about a lot of this stuff because I was so gaslit. And I know I said I want to call people out, but there's some people that I almost want to tag and be like, you know what, please don't. Please don't do that. Please do not gaslight me on what I've been through, because like, you have no idea. But they don't care. And they're abusive people, so anyone that gaslights you is an abusive person, period. And to let this evil go on and not say anything, I really can't help but speak out. And this is almost 40 minutes, so sorry I got rambling again, but I'm going to make a part 2 of this video. But I was going to say in that other part 2 video of that other one, I was going to talk about narcissists and cults. But I think, a lot of people really understand that if they've known about narcissism and studied it, that like cult leaders are definitely the narcissistic type. And then you got their flying monkeys and enablers, and it's the same dynamics, same patterns, same bullshit. And that's really what's going on here. There's a lot of really, really evil, nasty agents of the devil working here. And they're trying to fuck up people that are really good-hearted spirits that I can see that clearly as day. Some of the most kind spirits here, they're trying to ruin them. And in that sense, I do think they're chosen. I think they are chosen and loved. Not that anyone is better than anybody else, and it's not that you're chosen to suffer more than others. It's just that you're targeted because you have so much light and so much purity and love in you. And this is what the evil attacks. That's what I'm trying to say. This evil tries to attack all that is kind and loving and steal your energy, wear the false masks pretending to be you, projecting onto you what they are. Don't let them steal your energy. We are more powerful than that. I just want to remind everybody of that. And I'll make my part 2 video later. Much love. Always.